Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Baltic Star After Hours, the place where we sit, relax, and enjoy each other's company on a Thursday evening. We're late this evening because of me. It's always because of me on a Thursday, but luckily my comrades are very kind. And they're in an extra loving mood tonight, which you may have noticed already. There's a lot of love in the air. It's not February, it's July. And this evening, myself, Luke in the corner, Ben, the lovely Ben, the wonderful Ben in the middle. There he is in his soft red velvet surroundings.
Yeah, I'm not allowed sharp corners.
And our wonderful Ewan on the left are going to introduce to you our July, aka the Summer of Love. Only 40 years late, but you know, we're getting there. I think no more than that now, 60 years late.
Fashionably late.
When was the Summer of Love? Like 67 or something? We're very late. Anyway.
Very late.
Good evening, my lovelies. I'll never call you that again, don't worry.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I get confused who you're talking to there. I assume you meant chat.
definitely you two. Oh. So, what is the Summer of Love, Ben? What are we doing? What's happening? Why are we so loved up?
Right, well, this is a completely mad idea that I will take no credit for, because it's sort of, I think it happened while I was outside having a breath of fresh air or something, and by the time I came back, it was an unstoppable momentum. So the idea is that we would try, even this early in our no doubt exponential growth in followers and fans and the rest, even this early, we felt it would be nice to share the love around a little bit and to use our admittedly very limited platform to showcase the talents of a few other people, creators within the RPG community. And to that end, we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. And this is not taking away from our existing Traveller game or our ongoing Those Dark Places campaign or anything like that. We're going to be doing all of that as well. But we're also going to be throwing in a few new items to sort of hit some bases with the independent games community out there. At least that's where it started. And then it got turned into this rigorous month of events and schedules and things. So yes, we're all very looking forward to it. Actually, it feels to us like it's going to be great fun.
Yeah. Rigorous love. That's what we like.
Careful, you get us banned on Twitch if you say that too many times. The shortest Summer of Love ever.
Okay. Hasn't even officially started yet.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think it's going to be an interesting thing for us because we've never done really a theme event or a scheme like this of any kind, have we?
No. I mean, I'm sure we've schemed before, but not for other people's consumption.
I feel like you two have schemed more than I have.
I don't.
Yeah,
that's.
It's normally scheming against you, not with you, generally.
Which is why this is the Summer of Love, not the summer of scheming against Ben.
That's winter and autumn and spring.
The other 11 months of the year.
Well, okay, so Summer of Love. Well, I did a very vague and probably not very well structured introduction. So I think it's time for Ewan to talk to us about the Tangled Web.
Yeah, so we kick off the Summer of Love next Thursday, a week today, the 8th of July, where we are interviewing Mike from the Tangled Web. For those of you that don't know, this is a play-by-post website that runs various RPGs online. and we're going to be talking to him about what it is exactly they do, what they offer, how the website works, and generally anything else that we fancy talking about, I suppose. He said he's quite open to just chatting about, regular TTRPG stuff. So if you're, I signed up for the website, and if you are pushed for time or struggling to organise to get 8 people around the table and play a role-playing game, I have to say this is a really good way just to pick up and play some games, albeit not quite as face-to-face, but there's it's definitely a very friendly community and a nice way to squeeze in some extra games.
Yeah, I shall be very interested to chat to him, because this is at least reminiscent of the kind of thing that I used to do, back before there was internet, and before people had learned the power of tabletop gaming by actually sitting around a tabletop.
Or people had discovered the power of electricity.
Yeah, it's right. It was going to be a while. You didn't roll dice. You sacrificed an animal and read its entrails. It was that kind of. We were still on a very different plane at that point. So I'm going to be very curious to see how it works in a more modern setting. Especially since right now, face-to-face gaming does seem to have taken a little bit of a backseat. Possibly due to some, I don't know, possibly disease-related thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see the news that much. But
Global pandemic, if you will.
I hear things. What can I tell you?
Yeah. No, and I think that's another really valid point. Is that, I think, to be honest, the amount of role playing I was doing, certainly over the first part of lockdown, actually increased when I could just sit in front of a screen at home and do it. It kind of almost made things easier, but I imagine that's not the case for everybody. And I found it, a really fun way to play. There's obviously things that aren't there, tonality and the face-to-face interaction and body language and general laughs around the table. But it offers a lot, and it's, from what I've seen, which is, I haven't delved too deep, but it's a good system, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we will chat with him, and we will learn the ins and outs of how he does what he does, so that we can learn his secrets and then sneak in under his radar and crush him. Yeah.
Classic boys from the Baltic Star, right there.
Exactly. Yes. We will no doubt be launching a coup. Yes. No, I suspect it's going to be. I suspect it's going to be a very interesting chat, and it's a Thursday night chat. It's one of our normal kind of Thursday night chats. It's just a special event one, so it's going to be a bit relaxed.
Yeah.
Relatively few dice need to be rolled for the purposes of Thursdays.
Thank goodness for that.
Which brings us on, Luke.
My hands can stay nice and cool on a Thursday. They're not all sweaty and gross.
So you are 100 goblins, or in fact, I believe
I'm 100 goblins.
Well, yes, I'm going to be 100 goblins as well. So as I understand it, we are each going to be 100 goblins in space.
We are. So last Friday during our session, we were chatting with Sparrow, as she's known on here, or Hope Tracy 71. We were chatting with other people as well, but she was part of the conversation about different one-shots we could play. And the next morning, I wake up to an email from her saying, "Hey, this is that game. This is what you should play," and sent me the rules, which is all of about 50 words, give or take. Basically, it is a one-shot in that wonderful sense of a single page worth of rules, and that is it. The whole summary is, and I'm not going to go into everything at the moment, but the whole thing is, you are 100 goblins. and in a cruel twist of fate, the future of the world rests on your many tiny shoulders. Then, yeah, and that's basically how the game is. We each have a clan of goblins. They look identical to you, but they're 2 foot tall and have long pointy ears. And there's 100 of them. So there's 100 little 2 foot tall pointy eared Bens.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I do have slightly pointy ears, and depending on how much I had to drink the night before, I can occasionally be a bit green and scaly. However, I am a little bit more height than that on average. But then, to be fair, there could be several of those 100 goblins standing on each other's shoulders.
3 goblins in a coat.
Exactly.
They could look like 33 pointy-eared Bens with a dog. I don't know.
A pyroblin.
Exactly.
But yes, exactly. I think to do the 3 goblins in a coat thing, you do have to have the hat.
Oh, without.
If you don't have the hat, it's not the same, is it?
And a newspaper to peer over the top of.
and a cinema to get into normally.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly right. No, I'm rather looking forward to that. This is of course, it's a relatively modern trend. I think I don't remember them back in the day, of these one-page RPGs that are as detailed as you choose to play them based on how your group goes. But I have read the rules. They seem, how to put this, bloodthirsty and chaotic.
If you're a chaotic band of goblins, you might not be a particularly chaotic band of goblins.
Yes, there are levels of chaotic that can come and go. Though I feel even the most lawful of goblins are not strictly lawful.
Especially not Ben goblins.
Especially not Ben goblins. No.
Or Benglins, as we're going to call them from now on. Or Benglins.
Yes, definitely. No, I'm rather looking forward to that. And I think it will be mad. Absolutely mad. So we're doing that on the 15th, which is 2 weeks tonight.
Yeah.
And then...
Oh, well, who's going to be running that, though? Who's going to be running that?
Who's going to be running that? Did we have a volunteer? Did we volunteer somebody?
We did have someone that was volunteered.
There might have been a volunteer. Mostly because the rules were 1 page long.
I have a feeling there was that unspoken thing like you have in the military where you wait until somebody asks who's doing it and then it becomes that person.
Yeah, definitely.
And the person who asked who's doing it turned out to be Ewan.
Yeah. But it is right up my street. As I say, the rules are 1 page long. It feels pretty loosey goosey. So
yeah,
we'll run with it, and hopefully you guys will have fun, and hopefully it'll be quite fun to watch. And hopefully they'll all die in a horrible blaze of space glory.
Oh, not all the goblins. That's many hundreds of goblins. Because Sparrow's playing as well, so that's at least 300 goblins. And I'm thinking about having a nose around some of our other followers or subscribers to see if there's space for one more. It feels like a game we could fit in 4 players, surely.
Yeah.
I think it probably is. I mean, that does raise the massacre stakes among the goblins.
The death of many goblins.
Yes.
Death of many goblins.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 weeks away from when we start playing it, and I'm already feeling quite guilty about the number of goblins that are going to die.
So yeah. you have to satisfy that bloodlust of yours, considering we don't get to kill many people in Traveller. And those Dark Places is still a few weeks away after that for the bloodlust. So we need an entree.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. I have a feeling that those Dark Places will pitch us more as prey than predator, though, somehow.
Funny that, isn't it?
It is funny.
You don't all have to be prey. One of you could always become predator.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, though, I mean, we've now seen our characters, and they're all
None of them are capable of being.
Curious bunch of,
None of them are capable of being a predator.
if any of them actually locate a gun, they're just going to blow their own heads off. They're so incompetent. So yes, that is going to be bizarre. But yes, we will be doing that. But before we get to that, in 3 weeks' time, on the Thursday, we are doing Delta Green, which I spent a lot of time hearing about and didn't really know anything about. And then everybody pointed out to me that it's Call of Cthulhu, only in space. So I suppose it's Call of Cthulhu's, like putting an S on the end, like aliens.
See what you did
If you
there.
see what I did there.
yes. I'm not sure whether
I
it's
didn't like it.
necessarily space related, but it's definitely, I think it's a modern day time setting.
Okay.
I think is the time frame for it. So, cell phones, laptops, rather than your classic 1920s, 1940s
Yeah.
Cthulhu style game.
Yeah. Well, that should be quite interesting. I have actually played Call of Cthulhu. I've never played Delta Green, but I have played Call of Cthulhu. And I think for certain kinds of game, it's a really cracking rule set.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will be freaky and give us all nightmares.
Even more nightmarish than the idea of 100 Ben goblins.
I feel very strongly that you're overstretching the nightmarish potential of those. It's not that 100 goblins aren't an intrinsically worrying thing to look at. It's the way that there are 100 of my goblins, so they will all trip over each other trying to run away.
They'll all go.
Sorry.
No, you go for it.
It's also just striking me that we've called this the Summer of Love, and then we've got the horror of 100 Ben and Luke goblins, followed by Call of Cthulhu in a modern day setting, followed by aliens, those dark places, everybody dies in space.
Yes.
I think our branding needs a bit of work.
Yeah. Absolutely. So those dark spaces, those dark places.
That's the one.
It's darkness. There's going to be brutality. It's that. We're doing the sort of episode 1 proper, post training and intro mission of that on the 29th, which is actually going to be our penultimate event, effectively, isn't it? Because we wind it up on the 30th, right at the end of July.
Yes.
So in terms of our Thursdays, that's what we're doing over the Summer of Love, which is actually quite different to what we've historically done, which is just drink and insult each other for an hour.
I think part of the fun of it and part of the love that comes, as well as our love together, my fellow men, is that we've got other people joining us for each of them. And I think that is a lovely thing. So we've got the Tangled Web interview, then we've got the 100 Goblins with Hope Tracy playing, and we'll look for someone else as well. Delta Green, which Mr. Leno is GMing, I believe, Ewan.
Yes.
Yes, he's the man. He's the man who knows.
There's still a few practicalities, I think, of how we're going to stream it, but it's going to happen.
Yes, it might look a little bit different to normal, because we might have to use Roll20 and stuff for it, but we'll find a way. Love finds a way.
Always.
Always. And then, of course, Gilly's back for that. Gilet is back for the 29th to guide you two useless characters through with her stilts and her ability to kick inanimate objects.
That feels like an accurate representation.
Yeah, it's not just her ability, which was reasonably impressive. It's her willingness. The sheer paranoia I feel doing things like opening doors or walking down corridors cannot be overstated.
They're important skills to have in a crew. It would walk down a corridor. There's a lot of corridors in that game. A lot of corridors.
A lot of corridors. And ducts, I notice.
Oh yeah, a lot of ducts.
Ducts.
And maybe some ducks as well, depending on what horrors may come.
That's going in 100 goblins.
This quacks don't echo in space.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, once we've got those ducts in a row, there will be. So you're right. We're doing 4 Thursdays during the Summer of Love, and every single one of them has a guest of some kind, either an interviewee or a player or a GM or whatever. I think that's lovely.
Definitely. That's the love, I think. That's the love.
Yeah.
The love is bringing them to kill.
Yes, indeed.
And then that's just the interview.
Yeah. Yeah. And for those who are interested, I'm doing 2 of the behind the screens things during the Summer of Love. Those are on Tuesdays. And the last one seemed to go down worryingly well. So I may have to, cut people off at this point in case they get addicted. But that should be quite fun. Those are going to be the 13th and 27th. Now, to be fair, those would have been happening anyway, but I shall put in a slight Summer of Love flavour by mentioning the Summer of Love each time. Because, well, I'm just that classy.
I think you should go for a pink background instead of a black background to play into the thing, or maybe the island theme. I'll send you the picture. So you can have some trees for the background while you're talking about the history of role play games. It'd be nice.
Drink the wine out of a coconut.
Oh,
With
yes.
a little umbrella in.
Right, I need to hunt down some coconuts now for drinking
I just need a little paper brolly, don't I, for the glass?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yep, that would do it. Yes, maybe put on sunscreen before sitting down to do it. I don't know, something. A floppy hat.
There you go, a handkerchief tied at the corners.
Yeah, there you go. That kind of thing. I'm slightly worried that if I went too far with that, I'd end up in the Twitch hot tubs, beaches and pools category.
Yeah, we'd have to change our category.
And that could profoundly disappoint many viewers.
And it is a category...
unless they're also looking for TTRPG related stuff at the same time, in which case there's a definite...
Good crossover. There's a big niche.
Yeah.
I don't know what
that's one of those Venn diagrams that has only one thing in the category.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, excellent.
Now I'm going to be slightly worried when I tune into your Tuesdays, just in case you've changed our setting from roleplay games to the hot tubs setting. Oh no! If I don't remember to turn it back by Thursday, we're doomed. But they've got good viewing numbers in the hot tubs, much more so than the roleplay games category. Maybe we do need to shift across. I can get a paddling pool in here. The coconut drinks. I like the coconut drinks.
Shift the balance of the viewers.
I mean, I'm no expert, but I'm guessing that many of the people watching the hot tubs aren't actually tuning in to watch the hot tubs. I mean, it's just a guess.
There might be a few hot tub aficionados.
Yeah, there might be. Yeah, there really might.
I normally don't wear sleeves, so I can be writing people's names on my arms. That's okay. Everyone's a winner.
That's true.
Yeah,
you could do that.
I could do that. I might do it anyway, just for fun.
Have you got much real estate left on your arms?
No, I might have to lather on some extra thick sun cream and maybe write it with my fingers.
Yeah.
It just get a little bit messy at that point, though. But, sparrows appeared. A wild sparrow's appeared. Hello, sparrow.
Hey, sparrow.
Yeah, see, we talk about hot tubs. It works, you see. Second we talk about hot tubs, look who appeared. She didn't appear when we were talking about the game she's going to be playing. She only appears when we talk about hot tubs.
No, it is weird that. You see, it turns out even the mention of hot tubs brings in extra viewers. It's astonishing.
We went up 2 viewers just by mentioning it. So there you go. It's the future. The future is hot. And a little tubby.
A little tubby. I've got tubby covered. Believe me, I've got tubby covered. Yeah. Right. So additionally, we are doing our regular Friday Traveller sessions all the way through the Summer of Love. We're not interrupting those for anything. Plagues of Locusts, whatever. They are absolutely not going to stop for anything until August.
Yeah.
And then once.
And then we've actually got some holidays.
Yeah, I think there's 1 or 2 weeks we might miss in August, but fundamentally, other than that, meteorite impacts, plagues of locusts, tsunamis, it doesn't matter. We're still doing them on Friday.
A puncture in a hot tub.
Yeah. I like that a week's holiday is obviously more impactful than a meteorite impact or a plague of locusts.
It's for me. I'm going to Essex.
Yeah. Well, yes, there you go. And so we've also got various other things we're doing, because that's kind of the schedule, isn't it? Those are the streaming schedule bits.
Yes.
But we're doing a few other things as well. We're looking to put out some love for creators within the community, people who've done things, and we're looking for people who, if anybody is doing stuff within the community, whether you are doing custom dice paint jobs or character art or whatever it is, let us know. We'd love to tell people about it.
Yeah, I've got a spreadsheet open now. We've got a number in there already that have been in contact with us. I'm going to do a quick flick up. Free bit of advertising. There we go. Ooh, put it away again. That's just a little teaser. So we've got some post graphics that people have started sending, some videos, audio is available as well. If you just send things that you'd like us to talk about, then we are well up for spreading the love. Every Friday on Twitter, on TTRPG Twitter, there is like that. There's Follow Friday on the Friday, and then Saturday's like, what's it called, Ewan? Because you're always busy on the Saturday.
Self-promo
Saturday. And I'm useless at doing it. And we've seen so many people who do it, and we've managed to jump on a number of people's. And I think it just felt like, let's do it, and let's do it this way. Just anything you want, just send it, and we will put it up there. No expectation of anything. It's not going to cost anything. You've not got to send us a pack of dice or something. Just we want to share your cool stuff to people.
Yeah,
just spread it out.
Tell us what you're doing, and you might find that some of the people who watch what we're doing might enjoy what you're doing. I mean, can't rule it out.
Hopefully.
What have you got to lose?
Exactly. And if you know anyone who might be interested in that, Twitter's probably the best way to get in contact, right?
Yeah,
with
I think so.
Boys Baltic or me, you and Martin 16, and we can grab your stuff there or send you over the email. If you've got any graphics or videos or audio, we're happy to run pretty much anything within Twitch standards.
Yes, within reason.
Yeah.
Which is unusual for us. We're not really close acquaintances of reason, but
or standards.
or standards.
Yes.
Yeah, we're among those people who think ethics is a county just outside London.
So that's where I'm going. I need some time with ethics, I think.
But yes, so we are going to be doing that, and we're going to throw in a few little bits and pieces as they crop up during, and we don't know necessarily what those are going to be yet, but we'll do some stuff, and we'll try and give a little back to our community as well, to the people who follow us and the people who chat with us, and we'll try and do something there as well. So that's the whole point of it. In fact, that is truthfully the whole show. I mean, the actual detail of it, you'll have to tune into each individual thing, you understand, but that's basically what the schedule is and what we're trying to do. So I hope people enjoy that idea.
We're going to have giveaways, Ben. We are going to have giveaways, though.
Yes, we are.
We're going to discuss it when you lot are not around. It's secret. It's secret Baltic Star Boys stuff. The rest of you crew are confined to quarters while we chat it through. It's not like we're going to go into the quarter and you get the rest of the ship. You have to go to your quarters so that we can sit in the lounge to discuss it.
Yeah, to be fair, you can play with Rose's cat.
Exactly, that's what she's there for. So, but there's definitely some things we're going to give away, and I think there'll be certain giveaways for followers. There'll be certain giveaways for subscribers, and we just want to mix it up a bit. So I've definitely got some of these postcards which I did, which is the Grey Hill Bast Comrades We Drink. I've got some of those floating around. They've got stuff on the back about Christmas, but you can frame it in something nice. But so that's a little freebie we can give away. There's loads of stuff. I've got all the posters for the places we've been, which I'm sure we can send them off and get you guys a postcard or a poster. For the followers and subscribers and so on. So there's going to be lots of options, and I think we're going to discuss other things that we could offer and do and push. So, but that's all a little bit secret.
Yeah, and there'll probably be some, digital things as well, which, especially for anyone who doesn't, and we do understand if you don't want to tell us where you live. I completely understand. I'd be reticent about it as well. But
yes.
But if you only want to give us an email address, we'll come up with something digital which will be fun for you as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Just want to share the joys.
Yeah. And hopefully some more community-based stuff and some of our stuff and embracing the summer of love.
Well, it's actually one of the benefits at the moment. There aren't that many benefits to being a small community, but the one that really does stand out is it's how closely interactive we can be with the people who turn up on our Twitch stream during games, and that's really super.
Yeah, it's super until we chat for 2.5 hours after a stream and it's suddenly 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm quite drunk and everyone's paying the 1 credit to make us toast, and I'm too much of a stickler for the rules to stop drinking. But,
you don't actually have to drink to that 1 credit one.
What?
They'll drink to that. You have to drink to the Grey Hill ones. That's the rule. That's the rule I follow anyway.
What's that called? Ewan's rule.
Pretty much.
I'm starting to see. Was it out of self-defense, therefore, that you put the "It's Ben's night off" thing in?
Yeah, trying to push it towards you, that people can now pay 400, I think, but it's only on nights when Ben's not GMing, but he has to chug, which I thought seemed reasonable. Chin chin. This is Coca-Cola tonight. I'm off the booze.
It can only end well. Yeah.
Yes, as an aside, for the Summer of Love, I'm off the booze, Ben. I've betrayed you.
The booze?
I've betrayed you all. Yeah, booze.
Why are you off the booze?
Because I am. It's for. We'll talk about it after. It's a lot of sleep problems, and a lot of and just feeling a bit. I woke up that Saturday looking horrible. Unsurprisingly. I look the same.
Well, what was it? 3 o'clock. You guys clocked off.
I look the same colour as your curtains. And my face was about as big as them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it has been pointed out to me that I'm generally reasonably capable of holding my drink, so I'll just have to hold yours as well.
You're a good man, thank you. I'll make up for it by eating too many snacks and not actually losing any weight in the month.
There you go. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Well, you have access to the food culture of the world, don't you?
I do.
And much of it is tasty, very tasty.
That's true. Very, very tasty. I'm gonna have the So it's going to be, for me, it's also going to be the summer of liver love.
Well,
Okay.
I like that.
As in liver and bacon?
No, definitely not liver and bacon. Oh, God. It's definitely not the summer of liver and bacon, love.
Liver pate.
Oh, I'll take it or leave it. Liverpool.
Yes.
Anyway, on that. So there's giveaways, there's things every day. Not every day. We're not going to get into that.
No, but from time to time, as we go through, we will find things to do, and we will try and find ways to keep it lively as best we can. And there will be a completely variable Thursday. Every single Thursday is completely different. Every single one has a guest of some kind appearing, and therefore you don't have to put up with just us, which is always a treat, I'm sure. And we're still doing all of our travel, and we're still doing everything else as well. So there's nothing going to be dropped in order to do this. This is just a sort of push that we're trying to sort of give a little bit back. I suppose mainly because it just felt like the right time, and it's entirely coincidental that this week we hit 100 followers.
We did hit 100 followers. There was a lot of love in our chat with that, wasn't there? Between the three of us. That was nice, 100 followers.
Yeah.
So cheers, everyone.
Cheers to that. I'll drink to that. Not that I can click I drink to that, because I'm not allowed to do that. No, I'm not allowed to buy that option.
I'll do it for you.
Thanks,
man. There's two. One
and you know I have to, and I have to drink when you click it. That's three. I have to drink when you click. I've got 3 little sips now.
But we do really appreciate it. To everyone who follows and stops by and spends their time listening to us chat. Sometimes, quite frankly, rubbish. Till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, right.
We do really appreciate it.
Yes, I feel like we probably weren't doing our finest work after 5 hours.
But somehow you got the highest number of viewers.
Luckily, the stream went all janky when it started all cutting out. Everything after that was not recorded. So it was still good. We finished. ID guy came in and started asking us about Traveller, which we were answering about. And that's where it died. So everything else is just for the people that were there. And I'm very glad of it.
Well, I'm partly of the opinion that I think the reason people stuck around as long as they did was because they were convinced one of us was going to fall off a chair or something.
Yeah. And if they were wise, they'd have put money on me.
But it's quite nice that that was just for the people that were there.
Yes.
The regular people in chat, as well as a few others. We were talking about at some point doing something along those lines anyway, weren't we? I think.
Yeah.
Potentially in the future, not imminently.
No, I mean, I think it would be way too soon at this point, but you never know. There may come a point where it makes sense to do that. But hey, it's, it is it is a fun thing to do. Once you get on a roll and you've had a drink or two, you start chatting amiably, and eventually you start to realise that you're not making sense. I mean, you weren't making sense 5 hours earlier, but now it's starting to become obvious to you.
Yeah.
Possibly because you're not making sense very slowly. That may be the difference.
It's a gradual decline, isn't it? And it's hard to notice until you reach that point, I think.
Until you're listening back tomorrow.
Look in the mirror every day and don't realise that you're getting old until all of a sudden.
Yeah. I can't remember a time when I looked in the mirror and didn't think, oh, that's old.
But today you are the youngest you ever will be.
Yes, and it's people who say things like that who come across as really old.
Well, I'm still feeling it from the weekend, so
yeah.
Oh, what was I going to say? Oh yes, on the one shots and things, I decided this week I took a bit of a decision on all of our bases is that we should have another one shot season at some point. especially in the winter. The honey heist is definitely required eventually. I'd like to build up to something in the winter with the honey heist.
Mm.
Yes, I tend to agree. Bear with Hat has to be perceived.
Bear with Hat. The honey badger is in there as well. There's
Yeah.
a lot of good stuff in there.
And I quite
Rattel.
like. Have you guys seen Crash Pandas?
No.
Crash Pandas. The pandas driving the car.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell us about it, and then you've got to talk for a minute about something. But
And
tell
you
us
all
about
have
this
to
first.
coordinate how to drive this car. But I think essentially the way it works is instead of a battle map, you have a racetrack, and you have little miniature cars moving around. You all secretly decide what move you're going to make with the car, and one of you might say, "I'm going to put down a 4, which means turn left," and one of you might put down a 6, which means turn right, and they kind of balance out, and one of you will accelerate. And it's an interesting concept. Again, it's mayhem. It's one page. It sounds quite fun.
Well, yeah, it sounds lovely and insane, but that's all part of its charm, surely.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Add it to the winter of one shots.
At this point, isn't a minute of wisdom just all of us talking about it?
No, you get to choose the person, I believe.
Oh,
Okay.
I was
And
never
who's the
told
person?
this.
It was Ewan. It was a good. It was the right choice. Hang on, it says.
Do we know the topic?
Yeah, choose Ben, Luke, or Ewan, and give them a topic they must talk about for a minute. There will be hesitation, repetition, and deviation, but at least they'll try. Oh, it's got the 60 seconds up and everything.
Oh, the pressure.
Urban planning in our town. That's a big topic right now, actually. That's a very big topic right now.
Well, I'm ready whenever you are. Whoever's on the time.
It's keeping him down to a minute that's going to be a problem.
It might possibly be. It's keeping me out of trouble. It might be the problem.
Are we going to get banned? Are we?
I am indeed.
So, urban planning.
Urban planning
in your town, which is also Luke's town and very close to my town. So, are you ready?
They kind of combine to the same, I would say.
Yeah.
And in 3, 2, 1.
The problem with discussing urban planning in a town like Faversham is that the urban planning is very much the same as the rural planning, because, quite frankly, there is no urban or rural area of Faversham. It's just a town. It's all very much the same.
I kill 20 seconds.
So. Well, thank you.
Get to the point.
There's another few seconds.
Get to the point.
Distracting me. Quite recently, there's been quite a lot of planning developments, new builds spring up around Faversham. So there's been a development along the Western Lake, which comes off of the A2. There's also been a couple of developments over the other side, along with an Audi, which people are very excited about, an Audi in Faversham, along with a Premier Inn, which is also very exciting.
Oh.
I feel as though I might have wasted a few seconds. So, if you want to know why the Premier Inn is very exciting, it's because there are no hotels in Faversham. Not a single one. There's a few bed and breakfasts, but there's nothing, on that kind of scale.
Aren't there, in fact, 3 hotels in Faversham?
Well,
the railway,
but not big commercial chain hotels.
Oh, yeah. Small hotels, yeah.
Yeah. Small hotels, pubs, beds and breakfasts. Yeah. That's generally where we're at.
Yes. Well done, Ewan.
I think I made it.
We can't really talk about Faversham's roads in the summer of love. It just becomes the summer of anger.
Annoyance. Yeah.
The summer of fist shaking.
Yeah. So
I didn't even get onto the brown envelopes and the planning commission.
That's true. Yes.
That's where we get political at that point. Excellent.
You didn't even explain that historically we've allowed most town planning in Faversham to be handled by enemy air forces.
It's true.
But it's a it's
very strong feelings about it. Like local groups and chats and things. There's a lot of discussion about it right now, due to one junction especially. But that's for another 400 credits, 500 credits, or whatever. You don't get that for free.
Sparrow, that was a very it was a very interesting topic. I thought it was a very well chosen topic, and it was a very good use of points. You might not think so, but I did.
Well, as long as Sparrow believes that the 400 credits were well spent, you're there.
500. It costs.
Is it 500?
It costs more to hear someone talk than for you to chug.
To be fair, I'm probably drinking more often than most people talk, so sure.
It balances out.
Which one lasts longer? I suppose that's the points. Imperial credits per
drink.
10 seconds.
Is Foxborough in New England? Is that where the Patriots play? Is that Foxborough?
Well, the Patriots play in New England and Massachusetts somewhere, but I don't know if it's Foxborough.
Is there a Foxborough up there in that corner? Because if it is, I have to shake my fists at the Patriots if it is.
It feels like
Brady.
Sparrow man never chooses a Patriots fan.
Yeah, I'm a Dolphins fan, so I'm very upset about how good they are compared to us generally. But anyway.
Yeah. Yes. I always think it's weird when someone who isn't even American has a favourite American football team. Very strange.
I'm not Russian. I've got a favourite vodka.
So have I. It's all of them.
You did. The Buccaneers,
That's a valid point.
Yeah. Yes, it's true. I mean, we do end up with certain things that we get attached to for whatever reason. But yes, I find it hard to even get enthusiastic about a football team that isn't, from my end of the country. So I'm probably not the best example for this. Because I know that if you wander through the leafy suburbs of St John's Wood, there are an awful lot of Manchester United and Liverpool fans lurking.
Oh, that's the truth.
Long gone are the days when your local team used to be people from your local town, representing the local town, supported by everybody from your local town and nowhere else.
You know who my main team are? Up the Geeks.
The Geeks.
The Geeks. The Geeks are my team. The Geeks are my big team. Up the Geeks.
Yes. Yeah, definitely the Geeks. You are going to love the stadium shift.
Up the Geeks. I'm looking forward to it already. Up the Geeks.
There you go.
That can stay there. Thank you. That can stay there for a while now. I think 300 gets at least half an hour of Up the Geeks on screen. At least.
Up the Geeks.
Up the Geeks.
Yeah. Oh. Fabulous, the Geeks. I mean, they're often underrated.
Yeah.
It's their middle order that's holding them back. I think everybody knows that.
Yeah, it's true. It's going to be a tough series against Steel Brew, I feel.
I think it's going to be interesting to see the bowl by bowl description that a GM gives us.
see as the viewing drops rapidly until it's just
Stefan and Soraya just casually get drunk in the stands.
In real time.
Thank you, Koit Tsushima. Thank you very much. I hope you have more time next time you check in as well. Thursday and then Friday we start a little bit earlier. We're 10:30 on a Friday and we a live play, so feel free to join if you can. Otherwise, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much for your time and your minutes, etc.
Which is half an hour earlier if you're not on our time.
Oh yeah, sorry, yes. Which he might not be. He, she. I've gone he. Sorry, they.
Thank you.
They.
Yeah. We'll go with that unless we know otherwise. Sparrow, yes. A square for your football. That's a good use of your football. It is coming home after all, apparently.
Yeah. Yes. To be fair, I saw the bad half of that match. I thought it was a pretty good bad half of a match. Haven't caught up with the good half yet.
It's in the past now.
I know.
Right, Rafiki.
It's the circle of life.
But yes, it's it's one of those things. I've never been particularly skilled at team sports. I think it's fair to say, not at any level anyway. But like most people, I suppose I have an appreciation for them. So it's going to be fun introducing these lads to buckyball.
Buckyball.
Because you understand, it's not just the gross description of it. There's an awful lot of tactics in buckyball.
Oh, and I want to hear every single. Can you write the law book so I can see the law book? Can we make that available to tier 3 subscribers? The entire law book for buckyball.
I think, given the amount of effort that's gone into writing the rules out already, I think it's going to become available much more widely than that.
It'd be a shame for no one to see it after all of that.
Yes, the complete rules of buckyball, a game that is impossible to play unless you have a giant spherical spaceship.
We'll send them over to what's his name? Musk.
Musk, to see if he can start with buckyball.
We'll post them on Twitter for him. I'm sure he checks his own Twitter.
Musk.
Well, I mean, he wasn't he South African originally before he became a naturalized American, so he might have a bit of a love for cricket. You never know.
Yeah, and he certainly loves space. So
it's a winning combination.
Yeah,
it's the perfect combination for him. He's also got to enjoy tubes,
just like us and hot tubs. Tubes.
The game heavily depends upon tubes.
See, it sounds better every time. But is that the one they sort of run or like swoosh down?
It is essentially in buckyball. It serves as the wicket. It is both the restriction on movement through which the players must move when they cross, but also the batsmen must move when they cross. But also, it provides the opportunity to give a wicket to the bowler, because the ball is bowled through it, and you can therefore ricochet it off the angles of the tube as many times as you like on its way down to the far end.
Don't give it all away now. We need some excitement in your description of this beautiful place.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't even got into how many infield and outfield players are allowed at different phases of the game.
Oh, don't. This is truly the summer of love. It's a summer of buckyball love. I'll just sit blissfully.
Quit drinking, Luke.
Oh, no. It sounds like I'm going to get my highs a bit more naturally this summer.
Well timed.
Yes,
I'll be blissed out.
Yes. And this is a game that can be played over 5 days,
like all the best games.
And we can do ball by ball commentary in real time.
I think we should. I'm going to put that option up there. I'll add that as a points thing. For 1 point, you have to describe a delivery.
I actually
just keep spamming it. Deliver.
Maybe not 1 point.
I'll tell you what, actually, that's not a bad idea. During those sessions, it's not a bad idea to have, describe the next delivery.
A game session. I like that. We'll add that.
But what I will do, if people are interested, what I will do is I will pre-record 3 minutes of very BBC TMS style coverage of a very dull over.
I like it. I like the sound of that.
That'd be wonderful.
Yes,
a sort of parody of TMS.
And in comes the bowler, and that's on the spot, and it's defended back to him, and there's no run. And this next cake is from Mrs. Miggins, that's brought us a lovely cake here in the commentary box.
Exactly that. I will happily put on my best radio voice, and I will do 3 minutes off a script of that anytime someone wants. Only one.
Now, Steve, tell us about that famous draw that your team got 24 years ago. To this day, that was famous for nothing interesting happening at all. Please talk us through it.
Yes, talk us through that classic. No runs were scored, nobody was bowled, and yet everyone said it was the height of class.
Everyone had a spiffing time.
I was about to ask them whether we know any computer programmers who can make us a game, like a quick Java game.
Ooh.
Yes.
Once the rules are out there, obviously, but I don't want to put more work on Ben.
I don't know exactly how we could do it. I'm sure I can come up with something, even if it's a really simple thing. Yeah.
Oh, look at this! It's great. That can go out to all the tier ones. I can have a buckyball game. Oh,
I will see if there's a way to come up with something. I won't put a huge amount of effort into it, but if I can come up with as you say, an in-browser game.
Don't go crazy.
no,
we haven't got enough to do already.
No,
I mean,
just
coming up with
pieces
the
and
rules.
pieces.
Yeah, if you think of it as like a JavaScript game, it might be possible. I mean, ultimately, it doesn't have to be that much more complicated than Pong, does it? In terms of just a vague representation of how buckyball works.
Yeah.
It'll just be fun. It'll be quirky. I like it. Simpler the better, probably.
Give it a shot.
So,
we shall see.
Sperry, same in that I, as an England person and a fan of Tottenham Hotspur, I never saw the team that I supported win a penalty shootout because England always missed them and Tottenham never won them. And then the one that England did win in '96, I was playing cricket, so I missed that one, but watched when we lost the next one. And so I never saw any of my teams win a penalty shootout until I was, when England did it 3 years ago. So when I was 37 was the first time I ever saw one of my teams win a penalty shootout. Yeah, it's quite sad, really, but that's my fault for being English and a Tottenham fan, I guess.
I mean, being English is an accident of birth, but being a Tottenham fan is something that no one can ever forgive you for.
It's an accident of choice. It's a cursed choice.
Yeah. It's yeah. I mean, you're not actually from the Tottenham area, though, are you?
Or Haringey? No, I'm from Canterbury.
There you go then.
Yeah, no, I'm from a classy part of the world with cathedrals and tales and lots of little shops for people that are sightseeing to buy plastic tats saying "I love London."
I love you.
Bizarrely, like it's not London.
Yep.
And
which is now a train journey away.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes. Canterbury
place.
is one of those places where you can't see the students for the tourists.
No, exactly.
And, it is, it's a truly beautiful little city, and it is very little, but it's very beautiful.
Very beautiful. Lots of good places to eat and drink as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. But that's why. So I didn't have a local big team or even medium team. Gillingham, I guess, would be the closest league team. But as a kid, they went on
Premier League.
Palace maybe. Or Brighton?
It's got to be Charlton, hasn't it?
Charlton aren't Premier, though. They're a couple of leagues down now.
They are, yeah.
For a while. I think Palace would be the closest Premier League team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
And that's London anyway, really. So what difference? Pick a London team,
But that would mess with your love for American sport, though, wouldn't it? If you told people you were an Eagles fan, they'd get really confused.
Yeah, that's true. And the thing is, right, love of American sport, Tottenham's new stadium has a custom-built NFL pitch, and they're going to get 2 NFL matches every season. They've got a separate change room. It's custom built to be like the pitch rolls in and like the seats change and everything. And who's playing there this year? The Dolphins. So it's like my 2 sporting loves together at once. All I need for excitement is a cycling race to go around the outside while they're playing, and that'd be perfect.
Maybe a cricket match in the middle.
A cricket match going on, exactly. Just people throwing a cricket ball around in the stands.
I'm not sure a football pitch actually has enough room for a satisfying cricket pitch, I'm afraid.
No. It's certainly not the right shape.
The Aussies use it for Aussie rules, don't they? Because Aussie rules is played on a cricket pitch because it's a round pitch.
Yeah. But Aussie rules is played on an essentially oval pitch, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly, and it's one for the purists. Like any sport, if you get to know it, it's like anything really. It's like any hobby. If you get into it and understand it, it's great. But it's like NASCAR. No idea. Could be good, could be terrible, but I'm not interested. But the people that love it, love it. Role play games. Some people just don't get it, do they? They just don't understand it, and so be it. Certain writers, certain movies, certain art, theatre, musical theatre especially. I don't care for it. I've got 2 students at the minute that love it. Great, good for them,
I love the theatre, and I absolutely cannot get into musicals.
Oh,
Give me
dear.
some Brecht, some Chekhov, some Shakespeare. I am absolutely all over it, but I cannot get into musicals. Yeah, my bad.
But,
My limitation. It's nobody else's.
Well, and that's the thing. You can't love everything. And variety is the spice of life. It'd be boring if we all like the same thing. If we were all hot tub and ASMR feeds, then no one would be making serious money, would they?
Yes. I will say, however, cricket has the best, what do they call it in America? Smack talk, but it's called sledging in cricket.
Ah, sledging.
Cricket has the best sledging.
It does. It does. Except for my team, we just sledge each other, so I don't think it works very well. All right, I try and talk nicely to the wicketkeeper, the backstop, when I'm batting, but I should be giving grief. I'm just like, hey, how you doing? What a lovely day. So win them over with cheeriness. No.
I will say, actually, that can counter sledging if you are simultaneously whacking them to the boundary every time, and then just turning around to the wicketkeeper and saying, "So, did you see that pair of swallows they had up there?"
It could probably be equally as unnerving if the rest of your team are getting up there and properly digging into them, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they get someone come up and be unbelievably nice. That would definitely put me on.
The problem was a couple of weeks ago, I hit the outfield was very long, the grass was very long. So I was hitting them, and instead of going for 4 runs to the edge of the boundary, they kept stopping short, so we had to run 2s. And after 3 of those in a row, I was quite pleased with myself for the shots. I was quite exhausted. And I meant to say, I'm really tired now, and to the wicketkeeper, but I just said, I'm by mistake, I'm really bored now. I'm really playing down the bowler like he's rubbish. Yeah, I'm really bored now. Bored of getting all these ones. It's like, as soon as I said it, I was like, oh no, please don't tell the bowlers. That's totally a misunderstanding. I didn't mean to say that at all. Yes.
Actually, Sparrow, that's a very good point. I hadn't thought about it quite that way, but you're not entirely wrong. I'm a great believer in amateur dramatics, black box theatre, and even a bit of live music, as long as it's happening in the back of a pub rather than in a stadium. Yeah. I buy into that. I think there is some truth in that.
Definitely.
From being in a band, I've go to play a lot of gigs that are definitely less than 100. There's one venue we play that can take about 120, and have been a couple of times when we played there, supporting, of course, a better band. But there's definitely, I think my favourite gigs are when there's about 30 people squeezed into a really sweaty little room. Maybe not now, not for the last year, but it just feels more. It just feels. Oh, there's something special about it. You're so close to what's going on. That we've got the Arden in Faversham, haven't we? A tiny little theatre. How many's in there? And not many.
99.
99, and it's really narrow, and you can the stage is tiny, and it's all very close.
There are an enormous number of theatres in the UK that seat 99 people because of an obscure rule about how much you have to pay the licensing fee for scripts based on how many seats in the venue, and the break point is at 100.
Oh, so we'll call it Sparrow's rule, because she's got the fewer than 100, so it's Sparrow's rule. Yeah.
Yes, and I mean, I want people to be fair to you. When you say that you're at this venue opening for a better band, it's only because, despite all of the effort you put in, you haven't been able to find a worse one.
That is true. No, we've found some worse ones. Just we don't get to play to 100 people with the worst ones. And it's not always better. It's just more well known, I guess. Signed, more popular, more liked. All those other things.
Yes.
Anyway, let's stop talking about this. I'm making myself sad. It's supposed to be the summer of love, not the summer of self-hate.
But yes, the Arden Theatre is an absolutely super little theatre. It's a completely new built red brick, just built for the purpose of an amateur dramatic society theatre, and it's perfect for that. I'm sure they would like a bit more space, but they've got what they've got, and part of the fun of low budget theatre is you've got to work within it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think there's a joy in that. I quite like that idea. Yeah. If you could fill that with your 99 and running a short, like a week's worth of shows rather than going on for ages, a week's worth filling pretty much 75% or more of that, that's got to feel good. There's something special, and it's especially if there's a small group of you that have organised it all and run it all and planned it all. That's a beautiful thing.
The simple truth is that there is a break point, isn't there, where you're not necessarily doing it anymore simply for the joy of it. If you truly love the theatre, you'd want there to be an audience in order to give some kind of reaction, to get some feedback and what have you. It's different without one. But the truth is, you'd turn up anyway because you'd enjoy putting on the play and being the characters and what have you.
Yeah.
You don't actually need the financial return from an audience in order to make it worth doing for you, because that's not what you're getting out of it. You're not getting paid.
No, very, very true. Okay. Sparrow, what you said is there is a bit of name recognition. One of the bands we supported was a band called Little Barry. My R's not good enough for that. Little Barry. They did the soundtrack for Better Call Saul, the intro theme. Barry Cadigan was in Primal Scream, and has performed with a lot of performed with Morrissey. He's in Primal Scream now. Played with Johnny Marr, Paul Weller, and that. So that was the big band name. We just got lucky that we were supporting them.
That day. Check out you name dropping.
I know. I could give a few more. The Duke Spirit.
That's a good one.
They've done lots. Duke Spirit did lots of interviews in America, and that did some big American tours. Supported some big bands. There we go. Okay. Little Barry supported Dinosaur Jr. and stuff. So we're the supporters of the supporters of the supporters.
Yeah.
I've never name dropped like that before. Hark at me. Got a few people watching.
I still believe, however, the reality is you enjoy it, right? You enjoy playing the music.
Yeah, we play for free a lot of the time, especially if you're playing your own music. So yeah, it's all about that.
Then you're having fun long before anyone starts offering you free drinks.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. If there are free drinks offered, that's nice for the evening.
Oh, I'm sure you get offered free drinks all the time.
Yeah, a bit of petrol money. That's all right as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's a winner, but I'll do it anyway because it's a wonderful thing to perform, to create and perform. It's the same like us on a Friday. It's creating and performing. We'd play it anyway, and we played Baltic Star for months, a year before we started streaming, and we would if literally no one watched. But it's lovely to prepare and give on our tiny stage.
It is a very small little black box theatre we have, but it is. If
we ever get to 100, Sparrow's not going to watch us anymore, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's true.
She's a bit hipster about that.
Yes, Sparrow's going to abandon us as soon as we get 100 people.
Not a chance.
Can we put a limit on viewers?
It is Sparrow's law.
Sure that we get Sparrow here.
If we happen to have 102 and she comes in, I'll just ban a couple of people. Yeah.
Just kick 2 of them off.
I say that Sparrow's law. Just a little flash up.
It's canon now.
It's canon.
Then we definitely have to avoid putting me in a hot tub because the numbers could be astronomical.
Yeah, the hot tub just ruin all of them. I looked at our stats, and the main people that watched us in the last month were just chatting. People that generally watch just chatting. So there you go. It's because we just talk nonsense for most of the time.
Oh yeah.
Which clearly there's an audience for.
The truth is, I suppose, we're practiced at it. We talk nonsense to each other all the time anyway.
Yeah,
That is
that's
very
true.
true.
That's true. Many hours of that.
Many hours of nonsense.
Speaking of that, we've hit our Thursday night time finish, I think, really.
We have. I'll tell you what. Just
We do
before we go, what I'm going to do is talk randomly and ramblingly as if I've got
Up the
some
geeks.
sense.
It's okay. I'll do some things while you're doing that. Up the geeks. Up the geeks. Up the geeks. Looking forward to that. We love the geeks. Big fan of the geeks.
I'll let the cats out while you're doing that.
Yes,
Okay, you
good.
do that.
I'm just going to put up the poster version again with the actual sequence of events.
The rundown of the plan. Sparrow can see what we've got.
So in case on in VOD world somebody scrolls through to the end to find out if we're making more sense, Tim.
So that's a secret Timming.
We're not making more sense, but so that we leave it with the actual schedule. So
You are on the poster.
Yes, Sparrow, you are on the poster.
You are.
Yeah, 4 Thursdays, all with guests.
There's 100 of you on the poster.
All a bit different and all. Well, I think I'm actually really looking forward to all of them. I think they're going to be weird and fun and silly, and we're going to laugh ourselves stupid. I think it's going to be great.
Apart from those dark places where we're all going to die here.
You're going to die horribly.
Thanks, Luke.
Hey, it's not a guarantee. Not a guaranteed death.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, in an RPG, when my characters die, I tend to laugh fairly hard.
Oh no, I'll know that for when I'm trying to build a really serious moment.
Yeah, it's mostly because they die really stupidly.
And actually, with your character skills, I think that's quite likely this time.
I think that's quite plausible. Yeah. So we've got our 4 Thursdays, which are all very varied. We've got guests for every single one this time, which is a far higher guest density than we've had before. That's brilliant.
Love the guests. Find the guests.
We're doing 2 behind the screens. We're doing our 4 regular traveller evenings.
Oh, good. Yeah, you haven't seen the Benlins yet.
Sparrow, challenge accepted.
I mean, I'm just going to make you roll for everything. I think.
Oh no, I get them dice hot.
And we've got some giveaways, and we've got some stuff we're going to be talking about. And we're going to be throwing up adverts and things for all of the people who contact us and are giving and making good stuff and interesting, creative stuff for the community. And it's going to be fun and it's going to be great. And I just wanted to sort of tidy up the end of our stream before we go offline, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Bring us back on track.
Well, it's not really on track, just so that that's the last thing people have in case they scroll through to the end. Yeah, no.
Oh, he's so professional. You can tell he's in film.
If only.
Right, but before he starts talking about film, we're going to finish there.
Damn it! I was about to deliver a 3-hour lecture on the way Bergman analyzes